last time. Check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3. We are live. Okay, that's good. Oh, I gotta change the information for the stream. It is wrong. Give me a second, I gotta change that information for the stream. I changed that in OBS. Because this is not a gaming stream. This is a drawing stream. Gotta change the thing. I'm trying to find the right tag for it, like category. Guess I'll just use that one. Okay, let me check if that's changed. Okay, everything has changed to correct tags. Now, as you might see on screen, and you might have been able to tell from the poll, I'm going to be redoing the redesigns. Just slight changes to make it more actual horse-like. I even have, here we are. It's a look of how all different sorts of horses look. She is a mix of an Arabian, Rarity. Rarity is a mix of an Arabian and a Akal Teki. So we'll go ahead and get started on her. I'm gonna do her originally in the My Little Pony style, so it'll be easier for me to know what kind of body and hairstyle and everything I want for her when I draw her in mine. It's easier to go off of a drawing that is in My Little Pony style. And I will be taking inspiration from what I originally drew as well. Because there are things I liked, like the color palette. I love the color palette, but there are slight things I wanted to change. So we'll get started. Where is it? There it is. Okay, there we are. Okay. And that way. Actually, this one will go that way. That way we can get one going from here to there. I want each horn to be unique, except for those that are related to each other. I want them to have similar horns. There. There we go. Now I remember why I always have a different color between the different parts. So I remember to color them differently. Hello, Sirius. Oh, hey! How are you? Ah, you went bowling. Today I went fishing with my dad, my grandma, and my brother. It was great. Well, that's cool. We didn't catch anything. I guess today was just not a good day for fishing. today, for this stream, I explained it earlier in the stream, but I'll explain it again because you just got here. I am going to be doing slight changes to my redesigns for the main 6 because I decided just slight tiny bit of changes that I wanted to make. And here, where is he? Here it is. I'm going to be making them look a little bit more like actual horses, like pattern wise and a little bit of body shape, but still adhering to the My Little Pony style, at least until I draw them myself. Rarity will be based on a Steel Dapple Gray Sabino, Arabian horse, and an Ahil Taki. Because they're supposed to be voted the prettiest. Where is he? There he is. Okay. No, this one's supposed to be up here because it's the front leg. If you want, I can quickly show you the sketches I made for the others. They are based on some bases I saw, but I changed a lot of them to better suit what I imagined them to be. Okay, let me show you Rainbow Dashes first. I imagine her to be more well-built, like, in strength, but still lean. So I gave her more of a muscular build, more stallion-like. You'll see that I did that same thing for Applejack. She's built and based on a Clydesdale. Yeah. Fluttershy. I don't really know what horse I'm going to base her on yet, but I just knew I wanted her to be taller. And sort of lanky. Pinkie Pie, I wanted her to be a short, chubby one. So the base I chose was more for a chibi base, but I think it would be perfect for her. Here's Applejack's. I'm thinking of changing her head a bit more, because it sort of doesn't fit with the rest of the body. Like strengthening the chin. I'll change it when I get to her, most likely. And here's Twilight's. I based her around Mistbane's build, and I just think she looks so much better with a sort of curved horn, a lankier Luna-like build, but mixed with Cadance. Gonna get back to my sketch. There we go. You still there? Now to make slight changes to the legs so that they better fit what I think I should do for Rarity. I want her to have hooves, like separate hooves. So I want her hooves to remain like how they were in the original, because I did like what I did for her hooves. So I'll keep them like that, but I do want to change a few things. For instance, I will be giving her a little bit of an outfit, not like super intense, but I did want her to have one. Because she is a fashion designer, I think she would make her own clothes and use herself as like an advertisement, like a model, so people could see the sort of clothes she is working on. Hey, Jimin! Just slightly redesigning my redesigns. Just slight changes though, to make them more themed around actual horses. It's just slight changes, like more fitting body shapes and eye shapes. Changing the horns to be more patterned, so each one is individual and more fit for like families. Unicorns that are related to each other, their horns are going to look more similar, but if they're not, they're going to all be unique. Right now I'm only working on Rarity. Rarity, I chose Rarity because I did a poll on her yesterday on which one people preferred. The old one, like the old sketch design, this one, or this one with lipstick, like slight lipstick. They preferred this one than the one with lipstick. It was just slight purple lipstick. But they preferred this one. Plus, I can add my new shading style that I use to it. I can't add my new shading style to the old designs because once I finish a design and I'm sure I'm done with it, I merge all the layers together to save up on space. That was a mistake now, because I decided to change them, making Rarity slightly taller. What I think. I'm still gonna keep the old ones, like they're over here, this one. But I am gonna be making slight changes. And this is before I really developed how I draw them. So they're sort of ugly. Hmm. The eye of the beholder is what I always say. Actually, no. I'm gonna be keeping most of the color palette the same, just slight changes. Because I'm going to be adding in the dapple of color alongside these stripes to make it more accurate. What the heck? I forgot to alpha lock the layer. If you're uncomfortable with calling me Queenie, you can just call me B. Because I understand it can be pretty. I can understand that it can be pretty awkward having to call someone Queenie. So if you're more comfortable with just calling me B, that's fine as well. But no, I pressed this one. I'll be honest, I was actually thinking of doing a gender bend version of my drawings, but then I was like, first I want to actually solidify what I'm going to do for the designs before I do that. I think it's like a good idea to show what if there was a male, like My Little Pony was made for dudes instead of being targeted towards little girls. And that's like an interesting concept. This one goes there. If you want, I can show you something I worked on a while ago, but I sort of gave up on. That involves what thought I would look like in My Little Pony. If you want to see it, like real quick. And where is it? There it is. Here I am. This is one of the first projects I started working on. And this is actually what I originally designed my channel logo for my cutie mark. And it just sort of stuck. Here's the crystal form. And here is the gender bend. And there's still loads left to do. But I sort of abandoned it because I realized, oh, I wanted to record this. But then I realized, oh, I didn't record anything. And there are slight changes I'd like to make. I do plan on doing it again in the future, just with slight changes. Like making sure if I'm going to continue doing this sort of cut in the hoof, to actually continue it over on all the designs. And not miss any. But until then, and thank you for the compliment of what I would look like as a pony. Now, before I can go ahead and fill in the colors, I have to make sure I draw the eye. I did like what I did for the eyelashes here, the sort of square cut-off eyelashes. I thought it looked pretty good. But first, I gotta draw them in the actual My Little Pony style, but I will be doing the cut-off eyelashes. And to do that, I gotta do that first, so I can cut into them. I'm not sure. Which one was your main OC again? Was that one of the ones I drew? I'm not sure if I ever saw that one. You might have to, submit it in the comments section or, like, a link to it so that I can see it, because I'm not sure if I remember that one. I have a very short-term memory. I'll make a copy of this just if it doesn't work out. But what do you guys think of my project I've been working on? Okay, I'll check it out on my computer real quick. That's not bad. If you wanted, I could draw it on my channel. Okay, I'm happy with these eyelashes. That's exactly how I wanted them to look. That has to be more oval. I saw it on the DeviantArt page when I was there, like on a side page. I saw it. Like the gender bend, I saw that. That's what I did for my VTuber and my My Little Pony. I have a different one that I have based on another one of my drawings that I made for my, like, one of my characters called Lillian that I usually draw with. And I usually draw her. And I plan on showing her eventually, like, fully drawn. I can show her now. Where is she? I made a whole family portrait for her. Like, there she is. This little one is her. This is based on... This is not even based on my real family, because I have way more siblings than there is here. And this is the cutie mark I made for her. That is true. I bet she would get in the cookie jar. But here she is as an adult. Furby, no, you can't get on my lap right now until I move my computer. Give me a second. There you go. Come here, Furby. Come here, my fuzzy baby. Hello, Furby. Can you lay down? I can't see the chat. And here's a closer look at her cutie mark. Everything for the cutie mark is drawn from scratch. And the shading was done by hand. Oh, Furby, careful. I want the eyes to be a bit more bluish purple. Let me just test it out real quick. I'll make a variation with the bluish purple eyes and a variation without, and you guys can tell me which one you like better. Like a version with the bluish purple eyes and a version with the regular eyes that she originally had. Gotta copy and paste this. Then change this one to this. Okay, you guys can tell me which you like better. 1 or 2. Actually, tell me once I get all the other colors in. That way you guys can know for sure if you want it that way. Because you can compare it to the rest of the colors of the body. I have tried EQG before, like doing the art for it, and I've made actually a couple of my fusions as EQG, if you want to see them real quick. You could also always find the video on my channel, because I keep all my videos up. You just have to look for them. Okay, just give me a second to finish this little bit, and then I'll show you. I'm reaching the end of the limit of the layers I can do. Here is Rarity and Flash Sentry. I had such a hard time deciding whether I wanted to give her tights or not, but I decided not to because I wanted the white color to be for her top instead of for tights. And then I also have Bright Mac, Applejack's father, and Juniper Montrez. Oh, I never actually name my fusions. I just leave that up to you guys in the comments. And you guys can, like, say in the comments what you want their names to be. Because I have no personal opinion on that. I'm stuck at coming up with names. But here is Bright Mac and Juniper Montage. You can try and come up with a name now and tell me. And it'll be said, I'll say it here on stream. And then Jimin can tell you if they like that as well. Jeweled Shield. Okay. That's an idea. I could put a poll up of the names, like if you both come up with one, I could put polls up and see which the comments like the best. And I'll credit you guys for the names, of course. Okay, Rarity and Flash, it has been decided, Jeweled Shield. What about for Juniper and Bright Mac? It's close to what I want. There we go. That's better. And now I gotta add the speckles. No, that's too big. It's too small. Nope. No. we do this one? No. Maybe if I make it larger. Oh. Almost. New. Flicks. No, that's close to what I want. Splatter? No. Oh, did Jermaine leave? Or was that you, Jimin? Hey, I'm fine with you being here. I'm happy you're here. Right up the hair color. I'm still just wondering what they were thinking of for Bright Mac and Juniper. I wonder if they had to go to sleep or something. This one goes up in my favorites. Yes, you didn't miss anything. You are perfectly fine. I'll be honest. Sometimes I accidentally end the stream. Oh God, that's not. No. A little more transparent. $15 looks perfect. You could always look it up online, like where to change your name. But what do you think about 15% for the opacity on the flex? Because if I go too bright, it ends up looking like this. But if I go too light, you can't even see it. So 15 or 20 would actually be good. Like 15 or 20, which one do you think is better? Or like a in between, like at 17. There's 16, 17, 18, 15. Yeah, 20 was a bit much. And 15 is like a nice light. Here's a 17. It's a bit brighter. Not much, but a bit. You can hardly tell the difference, but that tiny difference matters all the much to the viewing eye. Yeah, 15's perfect for it. Now I gotta do the flicks on the other. And then I gotta do the gradient on the legs. Yeah, 15 looks perfect. There's only a little bit left to do on Rarity aside from her hair. And that's to add the gradient on her legs. Cotton candy looking hair. I don't think it looks too much like cotton candy. Now, if you want to see cotton candy, I'll show you cotton candy. That is cotton candy. Now you can tell me after. Sort of reminds me of a stream. You can tell me after I put the gradient on if I should put it on over the markings on the leg or under. And after I make sure I turn down the opacity on it so it doesn't get too overwhelming on the eye. I gotta do the other side as well. Oh, forgot to darken the color slightly. Now, should I put it under the marking or over? Like, keep it over. Because I can put it under, and it'll look like that. And if I put it under the speckles, it'll look like that. I'm thinking of putting it over, because it sort of looks weird to suddenly see that gray splotch with no blue on it. It looks like it's painted on that way. Hello, Furby, my fuzzy cat. Because it's already a startling look to have it speckles not go over the patches, but that's how it is on the horse, so. I'm thinking of maybe changing the color of the patches to be a little more blue-gray, so it's less of a sort of harsh sight, but I want it to be more, but I want it to sort of stay gray so you can actually sort of tell the undertone. I want to see how it would look under the speckles, like the markings. Oh, it's not like much of a difference. Having the speckles over it sort of unites the piece, so you can actually tell, yeah, those markings are supposed to be there. They're not just painted on. But it does make the speckles more pronounced. You really do have to take into every aspect of a design so it doesn't look too offsetting to the eye. Maybe if I turn down the speckles just a tiny bit more, to like 13. Tiny. No, that's not the one. Okay, 10 is sort of perfect for it. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can barely see it on stream. I hate that. You can't see it. Maybe, can you see it on 14? Things look so different on stream than off. Well, I want your guys' input as well, because it's a little offsetting, but when I put it at 14, it's not too harsh, but it's also not too there. But if we put the markings over it, yeah, I know. I'm looking at that one and looking at this one, and putting the markings over the speckles does look better both on stream and in person. And keeping the speckles at a solid 14, maybe a 15. Let me look at stream to see how that looks with 15. It's a slight difference, but yeah, 15 is great. Because this is going to be viewed through a screen, so I want to be able to see how it looks like from your guys' perspective as well. And it looks really good there as well. This looks perfect. But the eyes do have to be discussed. Now, with the whole design and scene, do we want the purple or do we want the blue? The purple, I feel like I gotta change slightly, because that lower purple is just not light enough compared to the top purple. So just brighten it up a bit. Mix that. Mix that. Yeah, blue does match the design a lot better. But you also got to take into consideration the purple of the hair. And that's actually a good thought. You don't want the eyes to be too close in color to the hair, so blue would be better for that. So you can actually appreciate the eye color. Yeah, true. Some designs just aren't complete without the hair. And I think this might be the case. But I know for certain we got the markings down. I love how it looks with the markings, so I'm going to solidify that. Because, I'll be honest, hair can make everything change on a piece. If even one hair is off, it can ruin a whole piece. The horn. I want it to match this. Let me just fill in the horn real quick. because that'll help tie the piece together with the horn when you get the colors in. Okay, that accent blue might be a little strong compared to the more muted blue. What do you think? It doesn't look too bad on stream, but it's a little strong. Slight changes. Nothing too big, just changing it slightly. It's too strong compared to the mutedness of the other blue, so I'm just gonna mute it a bit more. Maybe lighten it. And now it's too strong the other way. But it sort of does match how I faded into the color on the horn. But I'm not sure. Let's see how the horn relates to everything else. Yeah. No, that accent blue is just too strong compared to the mutedness. Let's try that from scratch. Then this slight highlight. Okay, that's better. That is better. Just the slightest hint of a highlight. You can see it, but it's not like a focal point. That's perfect. Look at her. She's looking pretty good. There is one thing I forgot to consider. One very important detail of what I always add to my pony designs. No, there's two things. The tail. The nice long tail. That's all curly. And my new shading style. I'll quickly add the shading style, and then I'll add the tail. I'm so mad at myself. And I forgot her eyeshadow. Go fix that real quick. Rabbitologist. You're still blue, so that's good. I can't believe I forgot to add the shading and the tail. Luckily, it's easy to add the tail, and the shading I just have to do slight. No, not on that layer. Not on that layer. That could have been bad. Luckily, I have a backup button. I almost did it on the actual layer. And I wouldn't have noticed unless I had come to look at this like I was going to. Okay, it's already looking better with the shading. It adds a sort of dimensional feel to it. Do you see it? Just look at that. It adds dimension to the piece. That blue of the horn, it's not dark enough now. It like for some reason, it just really clashes, like, the outline. The outline, it sort of clashes with the up top because of this. It looks so good here. I know it's giving the problem. I fixed it. I fixed it. That's what was putting me off. It wasn't the right color. I'm happy with the horn now. Now I just have to do the stinking tail. And I have to sketch that out. I'm really having fun with drawing, so I'll just end whenever my throat starts hurting. Or whenever you guys decide to sign off, because I don't want to go so long that you guys aren't getting sleep. Okay, that's gonna be a nice tail. If I can just make sure I get this shape all perfect. Just look at that. It'll be perfect on her. Nice, long, and fancy. Though I might do something like this. But then it'll interact too much with the hair. I guess. That could work. That could work. For how I'm thinking of doing this tail. Though that... Okay. After I get the hair done, I'm gonna start like the mane. I'll do the tail after I solidify everything on the hair and merge it down, because the tail and the tail hair, I'm thinking of facing them that way. So that it doesn't interact with this hair, which is going to be facing that way. Yeah. That would be horrible. I'm really not liking that purple eye. The blue really has grown on me, and it matches perfectly with my sketch and the original. And the blue goes so much better with the rest of the body. Maybe it's just that the purple isn't the right kind of purple, but the blue is perfect. I can always do that purple eye again eventually, but we'll see. Maybe if I change the hue. Tell me what color you think would go best with this so far. Because I'm thinking the blue goes best. Maybe a deeper blue. But, like, that light blue goes pretty well with everything. The red sort of looks nice with her design, but it does sort of clash with the blue. Like the red goes nice with the darker elements. So yeah, we're just gonna stick with what we have until we get done with the hair. But I know one thing for certain. Those eyelashes are perfect. Like a different color scheme. Let's see. What would you look like more purple? Wait, what? The purple wouldn't look bad. Give me a second to what color? 72. Give me a second to just look at this, because I can just copy and paste these onto a brand new layer thing, so I can see how they would look all together. That pink doesn't look bad, like the magenta pink. But it clashes with the blue now. What if I added the... Oh, nope, the purple just does not look good with anything. But that darker purple, that looks nice. I might just make an alternate version where, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll make an alternate version where this is a color and the hair is the blue and see how that goes, but the eye will remain blue because that purple sucks. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this purple. It just, no matter what I do, it just not look good. Maybe if I brighten it up, no. Oh, that's better. Look at that. And how does that look with the original? Oh. That purple does not look bad. We just had to adjust the saturation on the purple. Yeah, I forgot I had the bottom layer. But now it'll clash with the hair if I keep it as that color. But we'll just see. We'll just see. I know one thing for certain. I like how the top hair is, like this section. But this sort of long flowy part, I'm not sure about. I might change that. Like make it to where she can have different hairstyles. Like keep a bottom layer, just this. Like bald her. And just change her hairstyles out. I think she would be the only one I would do that for, because she would be the one I would be designing all sorts of outfits for. Her outfit! That's what'll help me decide what her hair is gonna be. What her base outfit is gonna be. Well, just Rarity. She's a fashion designer. I think she would look good with bell sleeves. Well, you learn a new thing in every one of my streams. Like the fact that I have lore for what I think how Gen 5 happened. If that's the right generation I'm talking about. You know what? For the actual MLP designs, I ain't doing stink with the tail. I'm thinking of doing a compilation of all the lores once I have everything solidified, but until that day. When I design her in my style, I'll go ahead and do the tail, but for the actual My Little Pony style, no. I think she's one of those people who'd wear those layered necklaces. I mean, I've worn a double necklace for my prom, but it was such a hassle, it just kept getting tangled in itself. I'm not certain about that earring. Maybe if it was a bit smaller. Because it sort of clashes with the rest of the jewelry. Yeah, that's better. And maybe having a few jewels hanging down. Okay, that's better than just this thing. Yeah, that's better. Look at that. You have a nice and fancy outfit. I think she might have a nose ring. Just maybe. That doesn't look too bad, but I think it might clash with the rest of the outfit. But I think for certain she would have like horn decorations. Now, does that look... I want you to tell me truthfully, does this... Oh, dang it. Give me a second. Does this look better with or is without the chain between it? Or does it look better just as the chain? Like, just chain or chain in between? Okay. Chain in between as well. Bougie. And it sort of goes with the whole outfit. But still, the nose ring. Stay or go? Like, yay or nay with the rest of the outfit? I don't think it looks like bad on her, like her design, but I'm not sure if it goes with the outfit. Yeah, I don't think it goes with the outfit. It sort of looks blank there now without it. Give me a second. Okay. With or without? We'll decide when we have the hair. This is just this rough sketch of what the outfit should look like. Now I can design the hair based on it. If I have the hair there, though, it totally blocks the earring. Unless I put it over the hair. Which then that might help, but... You know she's fancy because she has the, she's like super fancy because she has the humongous hair. That's a maybe, but let me just clean up the sketch first. Ooh. My phone just went off. Scared the heck out of me. I might just need to move that earring up a bit so it's less interfering with the hair. And you could just see it's hanging. Give me a second. I'm gonna copy and paste this so I could get it on a different layer. I need to do that with all the jewelry. This one goes up here with this one. Oh no, I deleted some of the necklace. When did that happen? There it is. What the heck? Okay. With this hairstyle, does it look better with or without the earring? It looks nice, but I'm gonna move this up a bit just so it's interfering less with it. It makes more sense for it not to be covered by the hair. That looks nice. Yeah, it looks better when it's not being interfering with, like, the hair. And altogether, it doesn't look bad. Okay, this will be an outfit and a hair combination. So, I'll get the outfit done first. That way I can do the hair and really tell if I like it that way. Oh, that's too big. That accessory should be nice and dainty. Hmm. You know, the earring doesn't look bad like this. Like as the diamond on top and the circle in the middle and the little teardrop on bottom. But, yeah, I like that better. And it fits better on the ear. I'm still on the fence about that nose ring. Because it looks okay, but it's just sort of off. I suck at doing things the exact same shape. Copy and paste is my friend. No, not that big of a copy paste area. Now there's only one more accessory to draw. Her necklace. Okay, alone the accessories are pretty good on her. Like, even without the dress. The sleeves will be a bit different from the rest of the dress, as in I want them to be slightly transparent, like near the ends of the sleeve, and that'll be hard to pull off. But I do know how to do it. Though I might not do the whole transparent thing, depending on what color I want to make it. Because it could clash really bad. And no shoes, because I want to show off her little hooves. Just to color it in. My cat is curled up on my legs, and he's so warm and cute. Should I do an actual pearl color for the pearls, or should I just say it's a gold beaded necklace? I think it looks good as a gold beaded necklace. Let me just get rid of the sketch real quick. That doesn't look bad. Hey, I'm not a designologist either. I have no degree in design. I have no sense of fashion whatsoever. I'm in jeans and a t-shirt with a mushroom holding a knife. But that does not look bad. I just gotta make sure I choose the color of the dress wisely so it doesn't clash with the rest of the colors. Maybe this one? Oh, dear God. No, that kills your eyeballs. Oh, that's better. Okay, that would work. Just gotta be careful with it. I might just make the whole thing sheer. So that you can see the cutie mark. That sheer look does not look bad. Holy. Okay. That looks pretty good. And it goes great with that gold. And it doesn't clash too bad. It doesn't clash too bad with the blue. Oh, it looks more like a... Oh my gosh, I just realized. The hair on screen looks so much more blue than it does on mine. So, everything on screen looks so much more blue than it does on my screen. But it doesn't clash too bad. I want to know why it looks so blue. You're seeing the screen exactly how I'm seeing it. So why is it so blue? I don't have this problem with my, gaming streams. Well, at least the purple I'm using for the dress looks more magenta than it does like that bluish purple. At least it looks okay. And my gold is so much brighter than it is on screen. Oh well. What can I do? Okay, it's time to do the hair. This is gonna be an adventure. Line up properly. That's better. Okay, I like that better. Like the shape of the hair. Hey, we made it to 2 hours. I'm gonna make sure I don't fuse the jewelry and clothes layer to the brain. Yeah, fuse it and I'll just make a copy of the hair. And I'll fuse the layer that I'm done using onto it. So that I can have a version with jewelry and clothes and a version without jewelry and clothes. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the layers with the clothes just so I can see where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, that's a big splot. I'm gonna fix that real quick. For the version without. $2 spent working on this one thing. I spent longer on other projects. Like that one project that I've been posting recently. I've been working on that since January. I've had to focus and work on other projects at the same time as that though. Plus spending my free time doing what I want. So that's also been taken up by that. So I wasn't able to get it done as soon as I wanted. Serious? Don't be naughty, my babies. What the heck? I might end the stream soon because I'm hungry, but I want to at least finish her first. Do I know who hasn't spoken in a while? I think they might have left and went to bed. Because the last time they spoke was at 10:09. Jomaine. I wonder what happened. They probably had to go to bed. Like had a curfew or something. We'll see them next stream though. Probably a drawing one though. Though they did show up to the last gaming stream. Well, you have your notifications working now, so you can show up to this, so you actually know when the streams are happening. Exactly. You just remember, you can always watch later, because I always post them to my YouTube channel. And you can ask me questions about stuff in the comments, and I read all my comments. So I make sure I respond as often as possible, or if it doesn't need a response, I just give it a like. You gotta get the live experience of talking to me, so you can interact and give your input. I do value your guys' input. It helps me a lot in the design process. Oh, I'm so thirsty. My wrist is cramping up. But look at that hair. Look at that volume. It is gorgeous. Oh. She sort of looks like Daphne. Because her... She looks like Daphne from Scooby-Doo with that orange hair and the purple dress. Oh. She looks like a bona fide Daphne. Ooh, actually, I might do that in the future. Of ponifying the, Scooby-Doo gang. But that purple... The purple I use for the, hair, it's a sort of clashy now. Because of the color I chose for the speckling. It was already sort of clashy already, but now it's like really clashy. Look at that. It clashes so bad with the skin tone and the outline. You don't think it's clashing? It looks so similar, though. I might darken it just a bit, like the outline. Oh, yeah. What color should I make it to not clash? Because Rarity's hair of purple hair, I love that, but... Idea! I have an idea. Give me a second. I could do that, or something like this. I plan to add highlights still, but it looked better with the darker. I might just look up Rarity redesigns on my computer real quick just to see what they do for hair color. I know a lot of people just keep it the same or turn it black or just turn it completely white with a purple gradient. I just want to see what they do for their hair color so I can get an idea of how I want mine to be. Because a lot of people turn their dark like I do. Like I did. Like this fur. A lot of people find Rarity's design solid so they don't change her hair much. They usually just change her fur tone. I might add some... Okay, I have an idea. I saw it looked pretty good. Okay. And for the highlights, I'm thinking I'll change the color when I get to it, but this is just a thought. Just want to make sure I get the highlights ready. Because I'm also going to gradient them. Yeah. Come on. Do this. There. Now I can actually get the color in. It doesn't look bad, but the black is a bit strong, isn't it? The pure black. I need to be at a little offset. But then it's too close to the skin. Let me test the pure black outline for the hair. Actually, no, a little offset black so it doesn't clash too much with the eyelids. And then we can do a little bit of a lighter A bit lighter. Oh, but the black looked so good with the hair as a solid. That's a pickle. That is a pickle. What color do I want? You got any ideas? I'm probably just gonna... Maybe if I go with the blue? We'll see how this works. Oh gosh. That purple clashes. It's like there is no correct color combination for this thing. Maybe if I darken the purple a bit? Deepen and darken. That doesn't look bad. This doesn't... Maybe if I... It doesn't look too bad, but there's just something missing. Oh, that's what was going on. I was trying to sprinkle the wrong area. That part doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. Maybe if I... And that way, I have the little sprinkling that way. See, look. That's not bad. The outline I'm still having a problem with, like the outline for the hair. Maybe if I make it a little less saturated, but a little darker. I feel like Rarity would be one of those people who glitter their hair. There is hair bedazzling. I just learned about it recently too, dude. Now that does not look bad. I'm still having a problem with that outline. That outline is just such a pain in the butt. Everything else I love about this hair. But that outline, I detest it. I hate it. I hate that outline. Maybe if I brighten it? And darken it. Darken it. Okay. Just look for the end result on when I post the stream. I'm sticking with, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with the original. There. Thank you. See you next time. And there we are. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, that actually doesn't look that bad. Okay, I'll stick with that. There's that version. Now I'm gonna make a version with the jewelry and the dress. Okay. Now I just gotta do the tail. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream, and I'll finish this next drawing stream because I am so hungry. Anyway, it has been a pleasure to stream for you all, my precious honeybees. That'll be all for today. Queenie out. Bye.